I see Sam Darnold, and I see him standing in the pocket, and I see Nick Bonito coming around the corner. Swat, fumble, sack. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters, because that's who you're gonna be seeing. And that's what I see. The 2025 Denver Broncos as your Super Bowl champions.
I am fired up. Happy New Year and welcome to the Chubbies League Fantasy Football Show. I am your host and commish, Ian Rapoport, aka Rap Sheet. And let me just say right off the top, what a season. So today, we are bringing you bold playoff predictions. We're recapping the 2025 season. We are handing out some fantasy hardware for some of my favorite fantasy players. But first, let's welcome back the Chubbies League ambassadors. He is a Super Bowl champion, 12-year NFL receiver, fantasy football rookie no more, Emmanuel Sanders. Welcome back.
What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
We have the voice of Sunday afternoon, the witching hour's finest, and in my family, the favorite voice to hear on Sundays, even though I am also on a national show on Sundays and a lot of other days. Plus, he rocks the Olympics. Anyway, host of NFL Red Zone, Scott Hanson.
Ian, great to be back with you. Emmanuel, great to see you guys. What a season. I mean, we had like 12 different top candidates for like game of the year. There was more going on this football season than was going on in my beautiful chubby shirt that I'm wearing right now.
Of all the things, right? I mean, I can look back at so many things and be like, wow, I did not see that happening, from like Joe Flacco being traded from one division rival to another, to Patrick Mahomes not even making the playoffs. Phillip Rivers coming back.
Yeah.
Like, I broke that story and still can't even believe it. Anyway, it was all awesome. So anyway, guys, Happy New Year. Glad to be back with you and glad to be talking about the NFL and what was a crazy season. Now, before we get to playoff predictions, I want to discuss some of the biggest stories of 2025. I want to start with the Kansas City Chiefs. And obviously, Emmanuel, you know them well. I will start with you. It was a tough season. I mean, Patrick Mahomes right now is recovering from ACL and LCL surgery. We don't know if he's going to be back for the 2026 season on time. We don't know about the future of Travis Kelce. Obviously performed well this year. Certainly could be retired. They have a higher draft pick than they're used to having. They had a bunch of injuries this year. They're over the cap. The Chargers are getting better and look like they are hitting their stride, and the Denver Broncos are where they are. What do you make, Emmanuel, of the Kansas City Chiefs this season, and can they get back to where they used to be?
Mike Tomlin used to have this thing when I played for the Steelers. He said, man, I'm glad they have those problems, right? As a Bronco alumni, I'm actually happy they have those problems. Now, obviously, Patrick Mahomes tearing his ACL, I don't want those the problems on him. You know, obviously, I want him there. But I do like the Broncos sitting atop the AFC West, right? And so, do I think that they have an opportunity to bounce back? Of course, right? We don't know if Andy Reid's going to come back. We don't know if Travis Kelce's going to come back. It's a lot of questions up there. We don't know if Patrick Mahomes will be ready by week one. But what we do know is that they do have the nucleus to win it all, and they showed us time and time again. And so they will always be in contention as long as Patrick Mahomes is a quarterback.
Scott, do you think Andy Reid has enough left in the tank to get this team where they need to go?
Yes. If he says he's got the fire still left for himself, he's won everything there is. He's a Hall of Famer 5 years from whenever the day he says I'm done is. He said he's coming back, and he said he was even dismissive of being asked the question about what he think about hanging it up and whatnot. So I think Andy Reid's going to be fine. Whether or not he's got all the pieces in play to keep this team at the highest level is the real question. Travis Kelce has a professional and life decision to make about whether or not he continues. Patrick Mahomes, alpha competitor, alpha winner. Is he an alpha rehabber? We've never seen him go through something like this before.
Never had a major injury like this before.
And by the nature of the calendar that when his injury hit, one of the biggest preseason storylines will be, is he back by week one? And what does he look like by week one or the first month of the season or whatever else happens? So big questions in Kansas City, unlike any that we have seen in a decade for them.
We interrupt the previously recorded show with some breaking news. When we taped this show, John Harbaugh was still the coach of the Baltimore Ravens. We had a whole discussion about the kind of job he did this year, the questions that face the Ravens in the offseason. What are they going to do with Harbaugh? What are they going to do with Lamar? We now know after 18 seasons, the Super Bowl winning head coach, John Harbaugh, is out. a couple things. First of all, Eric DaCosta and the owner, Steve Bisciotti, met with several players, canvassed the building, got their views on John Harbaugh as a coach, as a person, as a leader, took all of that into account. They talked to Lamar Jackson, got his views, ultimately decided a new voice was necessary. A new voice was necessary. So Harbaugh, who's been in charge, run the show for so many years, was out. Now, my understanding of where they are going to go with a new head coach is someone who can activate Lamar, who can reach Lamar, who can engage Lamar. I think it became pretty clear to me, based on the people I've spoken with, that it wasn't just about the relationship with Harbaugh and Lamar, but just the way they coexisted. It had stopped being beneficial to all parties. It really had kind of gone a little stale. It was a hard decision. It was challenging. It was emotional. But John Harbaugh out as Baltimore sets forward on a new path to have a new head coach for the first time in 2 decades. What this also means is that Harbaugh is a hot candidate around the league. New York Giants, Cleveland Browns, the Las Vegas Raiders potentially, Arizona Cardinals potentially. What about the Falcons? Basically, anyone not named Ravens that has a job opening is going to consider John Harbaugh. Now, would he go to the Raiders and compete with his brother twice a year? Probably not. But if you're a team like the Giants and you have a Super Bowl winning head coach who's a good person, who can set a program, who can set the foundation and culture, that makes a lot of sense. They met with Kevin Stefanski earlier in the week. I expect the Giants to do all of the homework possible on John Harbaugh and look to him as a really, really strong candidate. We will see where it all ends up and where he goes, but certainly the situation has changed dramatically for Harbaugh, for the Baltimore Ravens, and everyone involved. We now return you to your previously recorded show to get back to all of the other coaching news and whatever else we end up talking about. We are taping this on Tuesday, and we have right now 6 NFL openings. So we know that there are 2 from early in the year. We have the Giants and the Titans. Giants who have Jackson Dart, Titans who have Cam Ward, who balled at the end of the year, looking good. Okay, so now we have 4 others. You have the Arizona Cardinals, who fired Jonathan Gannon. You have the Cleveland Browns, who fired 2-time Coach of the Year Kevin Stefanski. You have the Atlanta Falcons, who fired Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot, the GM. And you have the Las Vegas Raiders, who mercifully put Pete Carroll out of his misery in what was one of the worst seasons that we've seen in quite a while. You guys get your choice. You are both top head coaching candidates. Emmanuel, I'll start with you. You have worked your way up the NFL's ladder to be a top coordinator and now are a head coach candidate. Which team are you picking to have success?
You know what? I'm going to go with the Falcons. Falcons. If you look at the pieces, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, the kid that they drafted out of Washington, I'm having a brain fart here. But I mean, you just look at those pieces. I love that. And then you look at the division.
Yeah.
Michael Penix, right? You look at the division, right? You're in the NFC South. That's always a winnable division. Like, I would not want to go to the Raiders. I would not want to go there. You look at that division, you look at the head coaches, you look at the talent, it's dangerous. So I would want to go to the Falcons. And not only that, I like to play indoor. I would rather have an indoor stadium, and just throwing the ball over the place. So for me, that's where I would want to go.
What about you, Scott?
Give me the head coaching position of the New York Football Giants.
All right.
You got to start at the quarterback position, and Jackson Dart he's a gamer, man. He showed me a lot of things. He also showed me something that I would absolutely go in there in day one and try and correct, and that is you can't be cracking face masks with linebackers when you're a dual threat run threat quarterback. He's got to get that out of his repertoire. Otherwise, he's not long for the NFL. But I think he learned that the hard way and through coaching this last year. But Cam Scatterboo, Malik Neighbors, assuming both of them are coming back and they'll be 100% full strength. That defensive line, you got to be able to pass the ball. You got to be able to rush the passer. Brian Burns, nasty, sexy, Dexy, getting it done. And I know people would say, the thing about taking the New York job is the crush of the local media market there, right? The scrutiny, the intensity. The Giants and the Jets, quite frankly, have been so moribund for so long that if you go in there and go 500, if you go qualify for a wild card playoff spot, you will be exalted as the next savior of the biggest city in the country. I would say, give me that job. How about you, Ian?
Yeah.
Me? Let's see.
Make a case for the Raiders.
Make a case for the Raiders. Here's my case. If you want to do a rebuild for real, you got to start with a quarterback. They got the number 1 overall pick. Okay, so maybe that's Fernando Mendoza. If you want to do a rebuild for real, you need to have draft currency. One great way to get that is trade Max Crosby, which maybe they're willing to do. If you do all that, you get an extra first round, you got the number 1 overall pick. Right there is your rebuild. It's going to take a couple years. Tom Brady, by that point, will kind of learn what he's doing, figure it all out, and the Raiders will be off and running. There is my case for the Las Vegas Raiders. We are going to get to a segment I like to call Ian's Rapo-Court. I am Ian, and this is the court. Are you guys ready? In the NFL playoff system, teams are represented by 2 separate yet equally important groups. The winners, who move on to the next round, and the losers, who go home or go to Cancun or wherever they go. These are some predictions.
Thong thong.
All right, Mr. Hanson.
Yes.
Mr. Sanders.
Let's go.
The Rapo-Court is now in session. There are 5 rounds of football debate, and each of you will have a chance to present your evidence and make your case. Each round is worth 1 more point than the next. And it doesn't matter if I necessarily agree with you or if I disagree. The points are going to be based on how convincing you are in your argument. And as the judge, jury, and commissioner, my rulings are final and fair, at least according to me. The loser has to make a 30-second speech telling me why the other, aka the winner, has superior football knowledge to him. Mr. Hanson, the floor is yours. For 1 point, sell us on your MVP.
Well, first, let me just say it's an honor to address Mr. Sanders and the Honorable Judge Ian Rapoport. My MVP came down to 2 players right until the last week of the regular season. Two players that were both leading teams in contention for playoff spots and trying to improve their seedings. 2 players who play the most important position on the field, the quarterback position. 2 players that play in opposite conferences. And I had to choose between the man who ended up leading the league in passer rating, a second-year quarterback, 23 years old, who was putting up numbers that we haven't seen for his franchise since the GOAT, Tom Brady. Yes, I'm talking about Drake May. And my other choice, an elder statesman in the back half of his career, a Super Bowl winner already, a man who finished with 46 touchdown passes and only 8 interceptions and led his team to yet another playoff berth where they are poised to try and take out the rest of the NFC. My MVP, ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Stafford. All he did was lead the league in passing yards. All he did was lead the league in passing touchdowns. All he did was have single-digit interceptions in a high-volume passing season.
Emmanuel, what do you got?
Your Honor, this is what I have. I respect Matthew Stafford's game and the stats that he put up this year. I think that if he wins the MVP, it would be a Lifetime Achievement Award given out. But, Your Honor, I have to go with Drake May. And because of this, most valuable player to me is the most valuable player on your team. Do I think Stafford is the most valuable player on the team? Yes, maybe, possibly. But he also has the best receiving core in the league. Not only that, he has Sean McVay on the sideline. Now, when you look at Drake May, yes, he has great coaches, but it's Mr. Do-It-All. The guy had 450 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. He's scrambling all over the field. He's blowing out his defenders. Maybe the schedule was a little weak, but he's doing this all in his second year. Passer rating, number 1. Completion percentage, number 1. To me, Drake May is Mr. Do-It-All, and he's the most valuable player on his team. Not only that, his team is 14-3, and I think Matthew Stafford's team is 12-5, Your Honor.
Wow. Emmanuel, I happily give you 1 point. That was so much better than Scott.
Let's go.
Instead of Scott really just told us kind of like his thinking, you told me the arguments why Drake May should be MVP. So even if I don't necessarily agree with you, but I do, you win anyway. Emmanuel, I am happy to award you 1 point. And in fact,
Thank you, Your
if
Honor.
I could award you more points, I would.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Moving on to the real reason we are here today. The NFL playoffs. It is my favorite time of year. Emmanuel Sanders, take me through your wild card picks and who is going to be advancing in these games.
First round, we got the Patriots and the Chargers. The case that I just made for Drake May, are you kidding me? Patriots at home, you know that they're going to beat the Chargers. Now, I love Justin Herbert. I love everything that they're doing. I think that they're building something beautiful out there in L.A. It's going to get dangerous as the year goes on, but I have to choose the Patriots. Jacksonville, Buffalo. As much as I love my guy, Josh Allen, I just feel like Buffalo has to give him more help. I just feel like if he doesn't put the team on his back, even though they got a run game at Dalvin Cook, and that run game could get dangerous, and the Bills could sneak up out of Jacksonville with a win. But for some reason, I just feel like when I look at my guy, sometimes he's just like, man, I feel like I got to do it all. So I don't see them making it out of Jacksonville. And then obviously Pittsburgh and the Texans. I got to go with the Texans. Not only that, I was doubting them earlier. But now I see that defense, and I see that they're coming along, and they're one of those picks that scare me even as a Broncos fan.
You can be a little briefer, but give me your NFC 2. We'll take the whole package, and then we'll weigh it against Scotch, which we'll see if you can beat him again.
I got to go Bears, and then I'm going Eagles, and then I'm going Rams. That's my first round.
All right. Counselor Hanson, what say you to the judge?
Well, if I was taking notes correctly, as a reasonable litigator, I try to. I heard Mr. Sanders predict New England, Jacksonville, and Houston, as well as Chicago, Philadelphia, and Los Angeles Rams. Indeed. I am going to predict New England, Jacksonville, and Houston, Chicago, Philadelphia, and the LA Rams. I've got the same exact thing as Mr. Sanders does.
Okay.
The one thing I would just add about a couple of the things that he said, same reasons for most. Josh Allen scares me in that Buffalo-Jacksonville game, but they have the rushing champion over in Buffalo, the season rushing champion, James Cook. However, a lot of people don't know the number one rush defense in the NFL is in the recently renamed Duval County. And I think Jacksonville will be able to bottle up James Cook. But if you do a blind quarterback test in the back half of the season, just put up a stat, don't show me who the quarterback is, Trevor Lawrence's numbers are better than Josh Allen's over the last 2 months of the season, which sounds insane, but it is true. I think the Bears will beat the Packers. I know it took a little pseudo miracle for them just recently to do the same thing in Soldier Field. Philadelphia, I think they'll put it together just enough, and the Niners are so decimated in injuries. I think it's tough for them. And then the LA Rams, I mean, look, we saw the NFC South came down to who can survive the last. I think that's the best opportunity for a road win for any of the teams in the Wildcard weekend.
So taking all that into consideration, I'm going to give Scott the 2 points. No offense to Emmanuel, but what you did the last round, he did this round. That was a clear, concise, convincing argument, especially about the Jaguars and how they match up against the Buffalo Bills. And you're right. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has been a baller. That run defense for Jax has been great. So 2-1, Scott Hanson with the lead. And the next is worth 3 points. This is the divisional round. Emmanuel, I'll start with you.
So I'm taking the Broncos to beat the Texans. That's going to be one hell of a game, right? The battle of the top defenses. But I'm going to tell you the reason why I'm taking the Broncos. I've been in that stadium. Your Honor, when you feel that crowd roar, and it's something about your skin and start tickling, and you know that it's playoff football and the crowd is in it, and you know it's either win or go home. And that's what matters. And we got home field advantages. Broncos are going to move on. And that's how I feel. Then I'm taking the Pats over the Jags. We got Drake May. Should be MVP. Might not make it because of a Lifetime Achievement Award, but I'm still taking the Pats. All right. Then we got the Seahawks. I got the Seahawks beating the Rams. The reason why I love the Seahawks is because I still got some Broncos in me. And for some reason, Gary Kubiak was my Super Bowl 50 coach. And who's on the sideline calling his plays? Clint Kubiak. Okay. And that's my guy right there. And I'm rooting for him. I hope that at some point he'll be one of these head coaches because I'm so proud of him, the way that he has his offense moving. And then I'm going Eagles over the Bears. And the reason why I'm taking the Eagles is because they've been there before. You got Caleb Williams. He's never been there before. The Eagles are sitting back and been like, oh, playoff football? On the way to the Super Bowl? This is what we do. And that's why I'm taking them.
Counselor Hanson, you got a mountain to climb, my friend. I'm not going to lie. I am fired up.
Yeah.
Let's go, Scott.
I look at the AFC, and I like what Emmanuel said about the Denver Broncos home field, the bye week as much as anything comes into play.
Okay.
And I find it interesting that there's very little quarterback winning playoff experience in the top 4 seeds. The Patriots and the Broncos, neither of those quarterbacks have won a playoff game. The Seahawks and the Bears, neither one of those quarterbacks have won a playoff game. But I think Bo Nix gets his first. Sean Payton leading the way, keeping a steady hand there, the mile-high crowd, everything. Give me the Denver Broncos. And then in the other half of the bracket there, I've got the Jags at the Patriots in my matchup. Okay. I think Jacksonville finds a way to get it done. I'm calling what I think will be an upset here. I think Trevor Lawrence has put it together finally. Different pieces have kind of come and gone. They've done most of their season without the number 2 pick in the draft, Travis Hunter. I think Travis Etienne is a great complementary back to keep the offense balanced. And show me the best win on the New England Patriots schedule. They beat the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. That was nice. But they don't have a win that's like a playoff quality. Oh, that was a playoff game level play. And I think Jacksonville's going to give them all they can handle in Foxborough. Over in the NFC, I think the LA Rams will find a way to beat the Seattle Seahawks. I'm calling for the upset there because of the way my bracket goes down.
Couple upsets. I like it.
I had the Rams playing against the Seahawks. Okay. And then the Bears playing the Eagles. The road to the Super Bowl in the NFC goes through Seattle. Who's good enough to go up to Seattle and win? Well, the LA Rams are. We saw them go up and win 99.9% of that game, except for like 3 freak things needed to happen on that incredible Thursday night game of the year candidate. I just don't think those free things happen again. I trust Matthew Stafford. Give me the LA Rams to go up to Seattle and beat the Seahawks. And then Bears, Eagles. This was a tough one. I think Ben Johnson finds some type of way to cook up something. Soldier Field is going to be, it'll be 10 degrees there, wind whipping around and whatnot. Caleb Williams makes a magical play and advances the Bears past the Eagles. My final 4, Bears, Rams, Jags, Broncos.
That was convincing. That was excellent. I am fired up, but not nearly as fired up as I was when Emmanuel was talking. Oh my God. There's just something about a former player telling me what it's like to be out on that field. I am fired up. Scott, you get no points. Emmanuel, you get all the points. 3 points for Emmanuel Sanders, and that was incredibly impressive. So great job.
Thank you, Your Honor.
On to the next, to the final 4. This will be the first AFC Championship game without the Chiefs since 2017. Emmanuel, you have played and won 3 of these conference championships. You know what it takes to get to a Super Bowl. Which teams do you see playing in Santa Clara in February?
Your Honor, it's like I'm almost having deja vu. In 2015, I remember it was Denver versus, I think it was New England. I think it was Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady. One hell of a game. But for some reason, the Broncos came out on top. And I still get that same feeling again. I get that exact same feeling. But the only difference is defensively. Offensively, I'm not as confident, but I'm confident in Sean Payton. I'm confident. I played for him with the Saints, and he knows what he's talking about. We sit back and say, offensively, they're not producing, but they keep winning. And I got a feeling that we're going to keep this ball rolling. The only difference of the game from the previous week to this week is that at the end, it's going to be confetti falling in Denver. It's going to be confetti falling. And I might just be out there just making snow angels just like this, saying, Your Honor, we did it, Your Honor. We did it. And we're going to be advancing on to the Super Bowl.
As long as you're doing it in a Chubbies shirt, I'm good. So that's Broncos over Patriots for Emmanuel. What about the NFC?
Now, this is the game. Seahawks versus the Eagles at home in Seattle. The Seahawks are nervous. Jalen Hurts is coming in here. A.J. Brown is begging for the ball. Devontae Smith is running deep routes, and then it might be a shootout. But I still see Jackson Smith and Jigba, Chardonnay, all these back. And I just see this offense just winning it all. I see the Seattle crowd in it. I just see the Seahawks winning it. I don't even have a case for that, Your Honor. But
point for honesty.
Yes, exactly. But I see the Seahawks winning it all.
Mr. Hanson, would you address the court and share your conference champions, hopefully as good as Emmanuel did? I got to say, Scott, now that Red Zone is over, you got a little time on your hands. You got to step up your game. I think Emmanuel has kind of got you in the excitement department, just being totally honest.
I object, though, because I keep going.
Are you even allowed to object?
Well, I keep going first to plead my case. And I'm trying to understand why can't I have the last in this courtroom? Why can't
Whoa. Ian, I would just like to say, I think you are running an absolutely wonderful courtroom here right now.
I agree.
Your Honor,
objection sustained. Emmanuel, you will go first for the Super Bowl champion, but we're not there yet. Scott, go ahead. You're the conference champion.
Some would say that's grounds for contempt, but not me. Not me. Okay, as by way of refresher, Your Honor, I have the Broncos and Jags playing each other, along with the Bears and the Rams playing each other in my Final Four. In the AFC, let's see. Jacksonville going to Denver. I believe we saw this movie right before Christmas. And I believe Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne and Liam Cohen, Josh Hines Allen, and this Jags defense, offense, special teams went in and beat Denver by 2 touchdowns. I think we see it again. I think Jacksonville finds a way to get it done and advance to their first Super Bowl in franchise history. In the NFC, Bears, Rams, new school, old school. McVay, Stafford, been there before. Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, newbies on the scene when it comes to winning in the highest level. The game, obviously, in Chicago. Frigid temperatures for those soft, warm-hearted Los Angelinos that have to travel across the country. But I think that my MVP, Matthew Stafford, finds a way. And I think the defense makes just enough plays to stymie Ben Johnson's incredibly innovative offensive tactics. And I think Los Angeles shocks the world and wins 3 straight road games to get back to the promised land and go to the Super Bowl. Give me Rams, Jags, Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara.
Mr. Hanson, I am impressed with your persuasive argument. Scott Hanson, you get 4 points for your conference champs. And congratulations, but we are not done yet. Now it's time for the closing arguments. Who is going to win Super Bowl 60? And I will start with Scott Hanson.
I would love to tell you who I believe will win the Super Bowl, but thanks to our great friends at Chubbies, I don't need to tell you.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to choose to show you.
Oh, God.
Because Super Bowl 60 will come down to the wire in one of the great competitions of all time. The Jags and the Rams and the Super Bowl champion will be available online, Chubbies everywhere. The L.A. Rams.
That shirt is sweet.
Stafford. Give me McVay.
Wow.
Give me Puka Nacua winning his first Super Bowl. Devontae Adams breaking through this young defense that they have. And this shirt will be a collector's item. Rams over Jags. Book it.
Counselor Hanson, great job. Counselor Emmanuel Sanders.
Your Honor, I've been here before. If I tilt my head right here, you see pictures. It's a Super Bowl 50 trophy.
Yep.
I see Peyton Manning, Demaryius Thomas. I see confetti falling. Guess what else I see? I see a Lombardi trophy. I see the exact team that we had that Super Bowl 50 year. I see Von Miller. You know what else I see? I see Sam Darnold. And I see him standing in the pocket as a Cam Newton. And I see Nick Bonito coming around the corner. Swat, swat, swat. Fumble, sack, sack. Who you going to call? Ghostbusters, because that's who you're going to be seeing. And I see the Denver Broncos. John Elway. I see Sean Payton holding this trophy up and saying, we did it again. And that's what I see. The 2025 Denver Broncos as your Super Bowl champions. Thank you, Your Honor.
I mean, look, Scott, you do a great job on Red Zone. We all watch you in my family. Really appreciate your contributions to the NFL landscape. You can't compete with that. All 5 points to Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel, congratulations. You are the winner.
Thank you.
Final tally of 9-6.
Thank you.
what that means right now. Scott Hanson, we are going to take 30 seconds more of your time as you tell us why Emmanuel Sanders is better than you.
I got to
Emmanuel Sanders, a champion on the field, a scholar and a gentleman. I know him in personal, private life, away from the cameras, away from the glitz and glamour. Clearly, the billion-dollar smile, the personality that just exudes winning. Ultimately, the man's a ball knower because he's a winner. And that trophy that he and his team well earned behind him gives him a reservoir of knowledge in this great game to call the shots as he sees fit and to evidently vanquish his opponent in this Chubbies competition today. So I tip my cap.
My guy.
Tap my chest in
My
respect.
guy. Thank you.
And say, congratulations, Emmanuel.
Thank you.
I appreciate both of you guys. The Rapo-Court is now adjourned. The 2025 NFL and fantasy seasons are now over, and it is time for me to hand out some hardware. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chubby Awards. The Chubby Awards are just like the Oscars or the Emmys, but for fantasy football, more prestigious and completely fake. I want to give out the first award here. This is the Chubbies Rookie of the Year. It is an award handed out to a fantasy novice who, despite being new at fantasy football, had a season to remember. A all-star, star-studded season, one that, just to be totally honest, I enjoyed absolutely thoroughly. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chubby goes to Emmanuel Sanders.
Thank you.
Emmanuel, please reflect for the audience before the music plays you off stage what you learned during this fantasy season and how you can be better next year.
I learned that if I could go back, I would have got a better second running back. But I learned so much. And I tell you what, after retirement, my first time playing fantasy, I really enjoyed it. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but now I'm locked in. I think next year I'll probably be in 3 or 4 leagues because it's just so much fun. But I truly love the Chubbies League. Just going and just checking in and just seeing it, making moves and whatnot. I truly enjoyed it.
Now, Emmanuel, this is an award. Did you get any trophies?
So, Chubby sent these shorts.
Yes.
Shorts.
Amazing.
I think I look pretty good at them too. What do you guys think?
That looks like something that would be featured like in a Rocky movie or something like that.
Yes, I might have to start boxing, huh? I might have to pick up boxing or something, right?
Oh my God.
Man, these are sweet, amazing. Man. These are sweet.
Next up, we have the Chubbies Fantasy Flop Award. This is an award handed out to the biggest loser because fantasy football isn't just about skill and knowing the game. It's about luck and whether or not you remember to set your lineup every week. The Chubbies Fantasy Flop goes to Mr. Scott Hanson. Scott, could you reflect on what you learned this season and how you're going to be better next season, which, to be honest, since the bar is so low, is actually not that difficult?
My father, my late father, Dick Hanson, always taught me when he would buy me a new toy, a video game or something like that, he would always say, read the manual so that you knew how to properly operate it. And in that vein, I failed to read the manual in the Chubbies Fantasy Football League. I was under the mistaken impression that we were playing what is called best ball, meaning you draft your team and the computer sets your lineup and optimizes your lineup. And that is why several weeks went by without me properly setting my lineup, and why I am your sir Sacco of the 2025 Chubbies League season. I was given a trophy. Should I show my trophy?
You have a trophy too?
Yes.
Well, show
if you want to
people.
call it a trophy. You got those beautiful shorts, Emmanuel.
Oh boy, what did you get?
They sent me.
No. Do not put those on. Do not.
Front and back.
Jeez.
They sent me 2 pair. I won't let you know where the other pair is right now.
Jesus.
Oh my God. Yeah, too much. I don't know that I can recover, to be totally honest, but here we are. And now the reason we are all here. It is time to crown the Chubbies League champion. Now, this is the first year of the Chubbies League, and it was a massive, massive success. Listen to this. 250 plus leagues, 3,000 total players this year. And we are so thrilled to have so many football fans along for the ride this year. There's only one champion, one ultimate champion, I should say. Please join me in welcoming our champ, Sean Muscovin. Sean, welcome to the show. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
I see you are wearing the Bears shirt. Fantasy football is one thing. Real football is another thing. How psyched are you about your Bears heading into the playoff?
This is an amazing season, and the future looks great. I mean, Ben Johnson was a great hire, and look what he's done with this team, and this is only the beginning, I feel like. The Chicago's always better when its teams are doing good, so it's a good sign when the Bears are doing great. And hopefully we can start beating the Packers year in and year out now.
I mean, the Bears, they are as in it as anyone else can be, and to start off with the most frequent rivalry in the NFL on opening weekend of the playoffs is going to be absolutely delicious.
All right, so take us into the strategy a little bit.
Looking in hindsight, I essentially aced the first half of the draft. I had the fifth pick in my league. First pick was Jahmyr Gibbs. Second pick, Christian McCaffrey. Third pick, Trey McBride. Fourth pick, Jackson Smith-Njigba. And fifth pick, Monte Adams. And then a couple rounds later, I drafted Dak Prescott, who was my QB for most of the year. So that alone, my lineup was kind of matchup proof and basically fixed.
That is like having a March Madness bracket without missing anything until the final four or something like that. That's
exactly. Until week 15 or 16, when Devontae Adams went down, I had no injuries. Then even on the waiver wire, I just luck and timing. The guy early on had dropped Travion Henderson, so I picked him up before he blew up and had him for the second half of the year.
Man,
I picked up Michael Wilson, so I had the waiver wire MVP, arguably.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I just had every hot guy on their runs. So my starting lineup had a lot of ones next to their names, or they were all top 5 or top 10. I'll never be able to do it again.
Emmanuel, did you write all that down?
Yeah, you see, I got all my notes right.
Yeah. Basically, fantasy is as easy as picking all of the players who will be the best at their position at the end of the year, picking them back in August and September. It's as easy as it gets.
Yeah, exactly. It's the reason why you're the champion, I see.
All right, so you're the fantasy champion, and with that, you get Chubbies for life, which we are all very dedicated Chubbies people. We're rocking our Chubbies now. I got a closet full of good stuff upstairs. What was your first Chubbies order, and are you wearing it right now?
Yeah, the first set was this Bears, and I got a pair of shorts. I got my son a matching set, so he can grow into them. So I've won a few sets already, and now I have a lot more money to spend. So people are going to be getting Chubbies for Christmas and everything else. And
before we let you go, just because you got the magic touch, give us your Super Bowl prediction, and then who's going to win.
My heart's with my Bears, but if I had to be a betting man, it's not the Bears. I do think the LA Rams are going to come out of the NFC.
Wow.
On the AFC side, I do believe in home field advantage. And so in Denver, the altitude, everything. So I think it's going to be Denver and LA. But on a neutral field, I think LA wins it all.
Ooh. All right.
Most complete offense and defense. And again, they're getting healthy at the right time.
Sean, thank you very much for joining us. Man, congratulations. Another round of applause.
Sean, way to go, buddy. Sean,
thank you so much. Congratulations. And let's see if you can repeat next year.
Bring it on.
You guys are awesome. That is a wrap for the 2025 Chubbies League. And hey, the fantasy season may be over, but there's still more prizes to win from Chubbies. Head over to chubbies.com and submit your own NFL playoff bracket as a Chubbies Collective member. One bracket gives you 4 chances to win. Join the collective, build the bracket, win Chubbies gear. Scott and Emmanuel, I have absolutely loved talking ball with you.
Hey, truly enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Truly enjoyed the Chubbies Fantasy League. Truly enjoyed the gear. I mean, it's just soft, man. I love it. One of my favorite shirts. You might see me at the Broncos game with it, but thank you guys. Hopefully see you guys again next year.
You know me, I can't do a quick wrap, so I got 4 quick things to say. One, Ian, thank you for leading us through this season. It was absolutely fun. You're the best information man going. I love that you're my NFL media colleague. 2, Emmanuel, to be with a champ again and your effervescent personality is always a treat. I can't wait till our paths cross together in person again. 3, to the fans that watch this, I hope you guys had as much fun watching this as we did participating in it. And I am telling you right now, and they're not paying me extra to say this, the Chubby shirts are absolute money. You're an NFL fan, you got to get yours. You're just a fan of great colors and concepts and just fun clothing to make a statement. Chubbies is your way. And lastly, to the Chubbies folks themselves, thanks for having me along for the ride. I appreciate it. On to the playoffs. Let's have a great postseason.
Amazing. Scott, well said. Emmanuel, well said. Huge thanks to all of you guys listening, watching, commenting, playing along, just honestly hanging out with us. We will talk to you guys next season. Enjoy the playoffs. So we will be keeping very close eye on all your predictions. Thank you. You guys rock. I'll see you later. I'm sorry, guys. Let me make sure this is not news. Sorry.
We could be getting a breaking story right here. Rap Sheet's on the phone.
This is what it's like this time of year.
Terry Bradshaw has decided to come out of retirement, inspired by Phillip Rivers.
Oh, this is good. All right, good. All right.
Everyone refresh their X feed right now. Rap Sheet's going hot.